Hey guys, how's it going? I don't know if you can see in the background here, but we got ourselves a new toy. We haven't forgot about our Kodiak canvas tent that we like to use, but I think we're gonna start getting into some sort of overlanding style type adventures. So we decided to go ahead and get a rooftop tent. We went with the 23-0, the Walkabout 62. The reason we went with this tent was because of the specs mainly. Also, I'm a huge fan of OD green. I just OD green everything, but the specs fit perfectly with this size tent over our camper shell. So that's the main reason why we went with this one. I didn't want to have too much sticking off either side, front, back, side to side. So we went with this one. So let me take you inside, give you a tour. We got little guy lines here on the side. I don't have them staked out just for this video. I'm not gonna set up camp in this spot, but you'd pull these down, guy them out, tighten everything down. You have a window on each side. On the back here, the sides. Then you also have the door that you come up through. That's a window as well. But we have the extended version, which normally if you didn't have this one, your ladder would be, this section of the material would end about here and you'd crawl up into the front. Reason being we got this one is I like the covered version. Not only that, but when you get an annex like we have, it zips around the outside here, so your ladder is actually inside the annex. And I know on some other models that ladder, if you don't have the extended version like this, the ladder is actually outside of the annex. You'd have your annex back here. So got the boot bags as well. Take your wet muddy boots off, that way you don't get this in your tent. It's a 3-person tent. Well, 3+ is what they claim it as. Basically a queen size mattress. The sleeping area is 62 inches wide by 96. Well, I say wide as in shoulder width, but you get the idea. It's made of 280 GSM ripstop canvas. It's a really heavy duty sort of canvas material, and you can see the ripstop stitching in there. Really high quality tent. I'm impressed so far. This particular model has the LST 23-0's, they call it light suppression technology. So what that does is the inside's pretty much blacked out. We've only slept in this tent once so far. That's why I'm doing this sort of like initial thoughts on this tent. But we woke up, normally when you have a tent, you wake up either from the sun, or you can sleep in, you wake up from the heat of the tent. But this blocks a lot of that. So we woke up well after the sun was already up, kind of being lazy, and you could barely even tell the sun was up outside. So it works really well. It's a 4-season tent, which is something that we really need because we tend to do a lot of 4-season camping. It's a really good tent so far. Like I said, we bought the annex with it. I'm not going to set it up right now because the ground's wet and I'm not going to set up camp here anyway, so I don't want to go through the hassle of dealing with something that's wet like that. So this is the door here. You have that little pole there. You set that up and it kind of, I guess if it's snowing or whatever, it might help with the wind a little bit too, so you don't have this entryway here kind of collapse from the weight. But it's really sturdy. You can see what I'm talking about here with the the blacked out material on the inside. And it's pretty cool. I'll admit it looks really cool, but at the same time it does a really good job of blocking out all the light. And as an added bonus, I believe 23.0 says that it blocks a lot of the heat as well on those hot summer days, which we get a lot of, just not this time of year. So here we are up inside. It's a little dark. That's because I got the rainfly on, because otherwise you have, get it to focus, you have this panel here and this panel here, both open up and there's skylights. With this model, you have to take the rainfly off, I believe, to be able to utilize those skylights. There are some model tents out there that have like a sort of plastic or PVC style window built into the rainfly, but for us living in the desert in the hot sun, that's just, it'll just fade. It'll turn yellow and gross. So I'm glad that this tent doesn't come with that. Now you can see all of these windows, they all have a sort of a roll up like this, so you can undo the zipper for the window. It's a mesh screen, and then you can also separately roll down your doors, I guess you'd call it. So this side has a door, that side has a door. They all open, both the screens and the canvas on the outside, but these two kind of resemble the doors the most. You have tons of places in here to put stuff. You got clips, you got pockets here, there's another pocket there, pocket on this side, pocket right here. It's kind of hard to see. You have your vents. There's a vent on this side for, I'm guessing, like condensation. Don't want none of that in your tent. All of the poles are covered, which I really like that a lot. There's some model of tents that don't have that as a standard feature. It's really spacious. We had me up here, and I'm 6 foot, and my girlfriend up here, and I also have my 2 dogs, and my dogs are not small. And yes, it was hard to get them up in here and down, but that's a video for another time, because it was a struggle. So I really like the color. Got this OD green. The rainfly is a little different because it's made out of a different sort of material. It's still ripstop, but I don't exactly know the material that's made out of. I can put it in the description box. But these clips, these come off. Take these off all the way around, and your rainfly comes off. Here's you a shot through the skylight. Now there's 2 of them. There's another one over here. It won't focus, you can't see it, but I didn't feel like taking the rainfly all the way off because I'm lazy. So enjoy the view from one skylight. It's pretty dark in here though, with everything closed. Everything's black. And you can see everything's sealed really well. There's like seam tape on everything. And if you want to, you can actually unzip even the screen mesh, and you can actually stand up through your skylights. Awesome sunset. Everything has toggles. This is another one of the doors. This is a good, I can show you really well here. So this is your screen. You can open this up and roll it up, toggle it up like that one. This door, you untoggle it and the zipper's all the way down. And then this window does the same thing, it'll open up. And we've only stayed in this one night so far. We went to Joshua Tree National Park, and it was a pretty good experience. We slept pretty well. It was a little windy. So I was waking up frequently because, you know, new toy, paranoid, but it held up fantastic. And we had 0 problems. The one thing that I will say that we've noticed so far when we set up the annex is that the zippers on the annex are a little challenging, to say the least. They're not as high quality as these zippers here. Which, still, you just take your time with it, you can get it figured out, it's not a big deal. And this is how your boot bags and your annex and stuff like that, let me see if I can get this. They just slide right in here through this little channel. Boop, come right out. You can take them out when you store the tent. We leave them in because they fold up nicely. They just, when you fold the tent up, they lay on this, and they're obviously no thicker than the ladder is. Speaking of the ladder, this is one thing I wanted to make sure that I talked about with this tent, because I've seen a lot of the other tents like CVT and some other tents like that. Their ladder seems really flimsy. It's a really tiny square tubing. I believe it's aluminum. This is aluminum as well, but you can see just how stout this is. It's really well built. And then you can, these latches here are what collapse the tent or the ladder. So when you click these and you slide it up, it collapses the next row. So if you wanted to start down here, collapse one, and you push it up, it'll collapse the whole thing up. So I like this because it's real sturdy with how they lock in. Whereas the other tents with the little square tubing, there's like a little knob. You gotta find the little notch or wherever it slides into, and that's all you get. Some people have to modify it, drill holes into it so it'll fit their application. This one I haven't had to do anything so far, and I love that. So yeah, really good tent so far. First impressions. We'll see how it holds up. Okay guys, so that's the tent. This is kind of just a first impressions sort of video. Like I said, we've only slept in it one time so far, but we got plenty of trips coming up, and I'm gonna start trying to video those and do like sort of trip videos, I guess. See, let me know in the comments, see if you guys would want to see anything like that. I think they're kind of interesting to view on YouTube myself, but I don't know if anybody else would be interested in that. But yeah, so leave any comments that you have down below, any questions. I'll try and answer them the best that I can. The reason I did this video is because when I was trying to buy this particular tent, there wasn't a whole lot of videos out there or reviews even for 23.0, so I could tell that they were a really well built tent, so I figured I'd make my own video and share with everybody. So if you can, or if you care to, like and subscribe. Like I said, leave your comments and questions down below and I'll answer them the best that I can. Thanks guys, take care.